Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. This is Leslie Inglestead on a beautiful spring day. Rain and I are here to share a little what's on our hearts. Usually she just gets to listen to me. Actually, she has to listen to me than any of y'all, so sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes she just walks away. No, I'm just kidding about that. Anyways, I am certain that you are going to have a great day. Thank you all so much for the feedback that I get. It just warms my heart so much when I hear from you, or you stop me at the store or somewhere I might be working. I just really appreciate that. And I just want to be that encourager that you tell me I am. But just so you know, it comes straight from above. God just lays in my heart what I should be sharing with you today. And sometimes I have so much that I just want to just give you. And sometimes I listen to myself going, slow it down, calm down. And now I have to do that because I got to figure out just exactly what I believe in my heart that should be shared today. These days I run into so many people that are just so hard, it seems, to find that smile that I used to see on their face. They just get hung up on things. And sometimes I hear and I've heard people like, well, you're religious, so that's what you hold on to. And I don't want any traps like that. Well, let me tell you, religion is what everybody has. I thought this was a interesting little definition. See, we all have religion. We have beliefs about the cause, about nature, and about the purpose of universe. Our religion, personally religion, is simply our map or our paradigm and our beliefs that answer the difficult questions that we all have. So you see, when you call me religious, or you think those people are religious, I would like to challenge you. You see, you have your own set. So how are you doing with that? See, I worship Jesus, who came to basically get rid of the religious laws and the religious thoughts and the religious thinking of his day and of all days. Sure, there's laws and there's commandments that we all know, well, not all of y'all know, but that are written in the Word, but they're there just to guide. But Jesus came to free us from all of those and said simply, so beautifully, see, there's a law of love, and if you choose to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and you love your neighbor as you love yourself, all laws hang on that, and you'll be free. Because if you simply do that, that's the recipe. So that sounds simple. That doesn't sound like religious to me. Religion gets super complicated, and it gets so judgy and critical and very defensive or very offended. But I would love to challenge you, those that don't believe that you really have religion, to just ponder on what you think about, because I too believe that you do have some judgment out there. See, life is all about relationships, and we live here horizontally, neighbor to neighbor, and then there's a vertical side. Some of you may not want to claim. And then you just make yourself God, because God is love. He wants first place, and sometimes we just need to make that shift, or else peace will elude us. You may think you're traveling, you might think you're walking in peace, but when something shakes your world, like our world has been shaken this past year, I've noticed a lot less peace and a lot less joy for the neighbor, because you're kind of caught up on what is it that's going to make you happy. There's a saying that says, everyone has to do their own believing, just like everyone will have to do their own dying. So it's inevitable, right? Choice is yours. These notes that I'm flipping around on, I wrote down, there's a book called The Servants. And it's interesting, I may have shared from this before, but it was in the Detroit Lakes Library and it got kicked out. These days, lots of good things get kicked out. Again, who made me judge? But boy, this kind of stuff is great for the soul. That's what I say. So Tolstoy had said, everyone wants to change the world, but nobody wants to change themselves. See, there's so many people act as if they can change other people, or at least they're always trying to fix other people, right? maybe convert them to their own religion, or else just let me help you get your head on straight, or whatever, and however you want to approach that subject. I mean, it's great. It's great to be able to have what you've lived through and shared with another. I mean, I'm grateful for it. I know that's why tough things happen. It's written in God's word. I mean, one of the main things that there is pain and suffering so that we can have empathy, that we can take things to prayer, and then we can know that God alone is the one who holds every day. Because we don't have that much that we're in charge of. Certainly our attitude. But I love another saying, and it says, so remember, sweep in front of your own door. And if we all did that, just think our entire world would be clean. I love that little challenging thought. We're so caught up in looking at the neighbors or thinking about how we've been wronged that we just miss the gift that God has for us. And He knows what we're walking through. That's the thing. He knows fully that we might be stumbling for quite a while. Sometimes things are forced on us, like this past year. Nobody would have chosen, nobody would have known what was going to come, and still nobody really does know. But a tough thing happens is that when we allow fear to take over, and we don't allow God to lead us through all the trials and the tribulations of things, we really get to legislate our own behavior. And you know what's really crazy? Is that we can actually do that for others. If we pull ourselves up when we're around people that are on the down, eventually it makes a shift. Sure, they might get sick of your attitude and it's like, oh, how can you be that happy? In fact, it just happened to me the other day, and I love where I get to work, and the restaurant gets pretty busy out there at Stonehearth, and there's Mama's Day that just passed, and everybody's really busy. But what we have to do in the beginning of that is get the mindset right, is get that going the right direction. So I came charging, and they're like, you can't be that happy this early. I'm like, why would you not want to be? Stop and think about it. We have so much control over what our day is going through. Outside circumstances, no. But inside this, we get to choose to think about what we think about. Oftentimes, like, well, I feel this way. Oh, that's good. But I was like, you're, again, ditch the feelers. Challenge yourself. Walk out the recipe, like I said. Okay, get outside. Somebody made something, right? That's God. It's called the Creator. That's the best way to walk this life. But if you choose not to, you can still get outside the door, or if you're inside, it's a cold winter day, then tuck yourself somewhere quickly and just say, I get to think about what I get to think about. I get to control what I'm going to do with this situation. Sure, I bet 90% of the time you may have been wronged, but other people think that they are. So then it comes to a head, right? And why do you want to do that? Instead, flow out in your mind. Again, I hope that you've asked God in your heart and you get to have His help, because then it's a no-brainer. Peace will come. But if you don't yet have that, you do have an incredible gift of thoughts. So choose wisely. Just stay somewhere until you get your mindset right. I pretty much do it going in the restroom. You just do. I just, like everybody has to use it, get in there, close that door, and find a reason to be happy right then. I heard this great statement made just recently, and it's like, you can go in 3 times a day, they suggest. Pull out a memory, because we all have those, right? We might have been tainted and held in bitterness in some of them. But even amongst that part, perhaps a family, or when you were a little girl or a little boy, or maybe it was that day at work when you got that bonus or something. Just, there is something that holds a quick memory. Go to it. Capture that memory and go, oh yeah, I remember how I felt that way. And you know what literally happens? The brain shifts. the brain begins to think a little differently. It's basically given a little, for lack of better words, I'm going to use like kind of like a oil is needed. Like it lubes it up, right? You have positive. It now changes things. And guess what? The thoughts begin to flow differently. I want to challenge you on that because I know it works. Okay. Make a very great day. Think on purpose. Find something to be joy-filled with. Okay, again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate it.